action. Hey everyone, it's Shaylee Michelle. Nice to see you again. Today I desperately need to redo my bookshelves because they are literally overflowing. Like this one is completely overflowing and that one mostly just has like my records on it, but there's definitely space that I need to utilize so that this one doesn't eventually collapse on me. I don't know if you can tell all the way back there, but like it is definitely starting to bow a little bit on the shelves. Before anything happens and destroys all my books and little trinkets and stuff that I have on here, I need to redo them. And I figured, why don't you come along with me? Let's go everybody, it's time for a book makeover. So the first thing that we're going to need to do is take everything off of these shelves. I'm going to time lapse that because I have a feeling it's going to take me quite a bit of time to do because these are like literally doubled up. Like these cannot be pushed back anymore. Like there's a whole layer of books behind them as well. And then I'm also going to need to take down what you see over here. Now my record player is probably going to stay there because I don't have another great space for it in my little office here. But everything else is pretty flexible and adjustable, I would say. So let's get started. So last year in 2025, one of my favorite authors that I discovered was Ottessa Moshfegh. So sorry if you're watching this and you know the correct pronunciation and I don't. I'm only human. Anyways, I read My Year of Rest and Relaxation first and immediately fell in love. I was like, I have to read literally everything else by her that I can get my hands on immediately. And I devoured the rest of these books. If you are somebody who wants to get back into reading and needs something really gritty and captivating and raw and real, I absolutely recommend starting with one of these books. Now, out of these ones, I would probably recommend My Year of Rest and Relaxation just because it's more modern. Some of these books kind of go back in time a little bit. Like this one's more of like I'd say like a rural kind of medieval vibe. This one's more like, I think it was set in like the 50s or the 60s. They're all extremely well written and just like incredible books. I absolutely love them. Make sure to check her out. Here's some of my 5K medals. If you watched my last video, then this one should look pretty familiar. This is from the Diplo's Run Club. I have all sorts of little trinkets and stuff that I like to put on my bookcases as well. As you can see up here, I've got like a bunch of dried flowers, so I love dried flowers. Anytime my husband gifted me a bouquet, either while we were dating or engaged or married, I love to dry them and save them, so they're like literally all around the house. But these are the only ones that I have in my office. There's lots of cool little things that you might see, and if you have any questions, just let me know in the comments. So I think it was 2024 that I went through my romantasy era. And anybody who knows romantasy, of course, knows these books. And I actually quite like them. I know that there's a lot of like divisive takes on this in book talk and stuff, but I actually like them. I think they're a lot better than the other series that I've read by Sarah J. Maas. And literally, I have one of her other books that I couldn't even get through. I think I'm still like 43% through it because it wasn't as gripping to me. And I absolutely love like fairies and things like that. So this one was definitely way more up my alley than the other series, which I think is Throne of Glass. But now I'm straight up just in my fiction era. I'm like, give me the gritty fiction. That's where I live. That's where I love. Some of these books are so nostalgic for me. Like this series here was one of my favorites in high school. These books are so old, y'all, I literally can't. So this is like a vampire take, kind of, but they're more like magical, fun, power vampires as opposed to just like bloodthirsty ones. Great for young readers, I think. I didn't finish the series because they were still being published while I was in high school, and then I was too poor in college to buy books. But if you want to check out something for young readers, this might be a good place to start. Okay, real ones will know this. If you guys know these books, then you are just as old as I am, okay? Old. We're old. Oh my gosh, I'm literally just like putting books all over the floor and the cat is like starting to get him stopped. Although honestly, I don't really mind like when he bites on my pages because I would rather have little reminders that he was here than not. Let's hear a little commotion for the Hyakushiki, am I right? I also quite enjoy comic books, and last year I discovered the movie 300.
This is Sparta!
And if you know me and you ask my husband, then he will be the first to tell you that anytime I discover a piece of media that I like, it instantly gets watched probably like 7 to 10 times in a row by me because I just love it so much and I want to just watch it and watch it and watch it. So for Christmas, he got me the graphic novel, and y'all, I was so unbelievably impressed with the movie after reading this. It's like frame for frame. It is so unbelievably fantastic. I love 300. If you check this one out, be warned, there is some nudity. Shout out to the 9th Doctor, love you. Whoop. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna trip and fall, you guys, I really am. So this is deceiving. It looks like a book, but it is not. What it actually is are all my magic cards. When I was in my 20s, I absolutely loved to play Magic the Gathering, and I still would, but I just don't have anybody to play with. A few years ago, my aunt gifted me like her entire Stephen King collection, and I have, gosh, like barely any of it left because in my last apartment, they all got so badly sun damaged, like I couldn't, there was no point in keeping them. But I'm glad that certain ones survived, like It. Love this book. Gosh, over here though, I really want to put all of my records on the top shelf, but I'm also a little nervous that if I do that, then like that shelf's gonna bow down and break. So I've got to think through that as well. This is fun. I absolutely love cats, and this was my first cat. His name was Biscuit, but we called him Beak, and he was my little sweetie baby, and I miss him, and he's a cutie. All these pictures are so old. They're like kind of overexposed, but look at how stinking cute he was. He's just a little baby. He's just a little tiny baby here. Look at that little guy. So cute. And then this is the Loki cat. You say hi, Loki. Hi. My name's Loki. I am a little stinky boy and I love my mommy. Mwah. Why don't we take this one step at a time? One step at a time. Oh my gosh, someone that I used to work with just messaged me on Facebook because I posted that I'm currently reading The Bell Jar, which I am really happy that I did not read this when I was younger, because I swear to you, the character of Esther Greenwood was absolutely me in like my early 20s, and I fear how this book would have impacted me when I was still in that mindset. Anyways, what she just messaged me that I think is pretty funny, she goes, "Oof, girl, you're picking some dark times to pick that one up." I'm like, I know, but like, if you look at my Goodreads and my TBRs and stuff, like I just like the dark stuff. I do. I like horror and thrillers and crime and just things that are like dark and gritty and just, I don't know, like soul wrenching. I don't know what that says about me, because then you see my videos and I'm all like, okay, so, where to start, y'all? I've got a lot of fantasy and a lot of fiction, and that's about it. So maybe I'll put all of my fantasy on the lower shelves along with my comics, and then put my fiction and like my favorites up on the top. All right, let's start with maybe my magic cards. We can put them like here. Now, I'm pretty sure that all of my comics fit on one shelf last time, but that was without the magic cards there, so I guess we'll find out. So if you're like me, then you were also raised on Dr. Seuss, and this one's a really cool one because this is like some of his previously unpublished, just like little doodles and stuff that are a little more adult. It's kind of a fun little read, just like a fun picture book to flip through. You should check it out. I don't usually like things organized in terms of height, but with my graphic novels, I think I am going to try that to the extent that I can make it like work and make sense. Seems like a good start. We'll start there. One of my friends asked me the other day why I always wear a dragon hoard of jewelry anytime I do anything. And the answer is, I don't know. I'm just a jewelry girly. I love to wear it. Oh my gosh, you guys. Sometimes we like to pick hard, don't we? And I definitely think that with this particular endeavor, I am choosing hard. Oh, okay, come on, we can do it. Push back, push, push. Oh no. Yeah, that makes sense, right? And then I feel like I'm using my space a little more wisely. Whew. Oh, being sick for a week and a half and then doing something like this really reminds you just how vulnerable you are. Yeah, that looks pretty good, right? I think we can all be happy with that for now. Oh no, here's a couple more. I have a feeling this is gonna happen a lot. And then because I probably won't touch this shelf too much, I can put some of my little trinkets on it. Like this is a chimera from when I used to play D&D. This one I'm actually reading with one of my good friends right now. We're doing like a remote kind of book club. She is in New York currently, so I have been reading this one throughout January. But because we're reading like 200 pages at a time and then FaceTiming to talk about it, this one will probably take me just a little bit to get through since we're doing like a fun book club, which I've actually never done before. And I don't think she has either, so we're gonna figure it out, but I'm sure between the two of us, it'll be fine. We're both yappers, so we'll have things to talk about. That is for sure. This is a bunch of fiction, a lot of Albert Camus, Cormac McCarthy, Kerouac. When I was in my 20s, I went through like a little beatnik era and I was super about these authors, like super about them. And I'll still read them, but I'm kind of taking myself a little less seriously the older that I get, because I've realized through various just life experiences that I would much rather enjoy being who I am, and that's kind of like a silly, goofy, kind of just fun, lighthearted spirit, than somebody who wants to do it for, I don't know, like the aesthetic, if that makes sense. Because like I do enjoy aesthetic, obviously, like I'm a fashion girly, but it's just funny. Being a younger kid, I focused so much on how I could be socially accepted, and now I literally couldn't care any less. Like it's so nice. So if you're someone out there that's struggling with that, please know that it gets better the older you get. Oh yeah, Han Kang is another one that I totally fell in love with last year. Picked up as many of her titles as I could as well. I'm trying to keep all my authors together. I feel like that's a sensible way to organize your books. These ones were so cute. So if you need something fun, light, easy, I definitely recommend Days at the Murasaki Bookshop, and then this is the sequel to it. So if you need something fun, easy, quick-paced, I definitely recommend Days at the Murasaki Bookshop. It's a cute little romance. There's nothing like untoward at all. It's just such a fun, cute read. This is something that you could totally just go to like your local coffee shop or bookstore, pull out, read for a few minutes, and I guarantee it's gonna make you feel warm and fuzzy inside. It's by the author Satoshi Yagisawa, and I hope that I said that right. I really am trying my best to pronounce all the authors' names correctly. This was one of my favorites in 2025, Butter. Mwah. I think she has another book coming out too, and I literally can't wait to read it. I devoured this book. So freaking good. Phantom of the Opera, one of my favorite musicals, and the book's pretty good too. I always joke that I have this talent of like making things disappear, and I swear to you, like they really do disappear out of existence. And I can't find them, even though I just touched them. Here we go, okay. Okay, I would say this was my other favorite author that I discovered in 2025. Her name is Natsuo Kirino. Oh my gosh, I devour her books, just devour them. I actually think this one may have recently been published. I'd have to double check, like don't quote me on that. But all of these are so stinking frickin' good. The first one I read was Out, and this one is about a bunch of, I think they're Japanese women working in a factory, and something spooky kind of happens. Well, maybe not spooky is the best way to put it, but I just don't like giving anything away because I love going into books knowing absolutely nothing. But if you're someone who likes to know a little bit about it, then I suppose I can, you know, change that for my next video. But as far as what you're getting right now, it's gonna be bare minimum, y'all. Love you, Miss Kirino. Want to read everything you've ever written. An author that reminds me a lot of Kirino is Kane Minato. This one's called Penance. I also read this one in 2025. More lemonade, not sponsored. Sponsored by I'm Thirsty. All right, I feel like all my Stephen King should go together. That makes reasonable sense, doesn't it? Okay, permitting that I don't have any Stephen Kings hidden somewhere in my book mess on the floor, then that should, I mean, that fits really well. That looks great. So the girlfriend that I'm doing my virtual book club with lent me this before she went back to New York. Oh my freaking goodness. This was such an awesome, like gothic, just gritty. I seriously wish that my brain were working better for you guys on this video and I could use more descriptive terms, but the fever really does something to you. This was such an excellent read. And like we did a book swap and I gave her like this fantasy book that I liked when I was in high school because she was like, I want to read a fantasy. And so it's like such a silly little book. Like it has a special place in my heart because like I liked it when I was a kid. And then she hands me this absolutely gorgeous piece of fiction in return. I was like, please go through all my books and find something else that like can stand up to this one because I definitely did not give you something of equal exchange. Anyways, this one is called Her Body and Other Parties. It's a series of short stories by the author Carmen Maria Machado. Excuse me, I hopefully said that correctly. Oh, I think we can all agree that this one was fantastic. Why don't we just put things up? That's kind of how I go through my life, by the way. I'm like, I don't really have a plan a lot of the times, but I'm like, you know what, let's just throw things to the wall, see what sticks, and if I don't like it, things can always be changed. That is a lesson I wish I also would have learned much earlier in life. Because gosh, guys, I was such a serious little thing when I was in my teens and 20s. Like everything was so life or death for me. And I don't know if that was like a direct result of my mental health at the time, which I can tell you guys was not good, like at all. Nothing is set in stone, truly. Like that is what I've learned. If there's something that you don't like, you can just change it. And it might be hard and it's going to take work, but I promise you, you will get out of it whatever you put into it. So I believe in you. You've got this. Ooh, this was a fun read too. I actually, I'm lending the other book by this author to my daughter right now. I actually have no idea where she is with it. But I guess this guy was a YouTuber and then he started writing like kind of horror books, but these were really fun reads. They've got like some fun pictures. It's kind of like a mystery thriller. This one is Strange Houses. The one that I'm lending to my daughter is called Strange Pictures. This would also be a great introductory, like you just need to get back into reading and this is a genre that you're interested in. The author is Uketsu. Oh my freaking goodness, this movie was so good. I went and saw this movie first and then my mom lent me her copy of The Housemaid. I devoured it in like maybe like 2 or 3 sittings. And even though there were name differences between the book and the movie, and there always are, like I never understand people who are like, the movie isn't exactly like the book. I'm like, it shouldn't be. They're 2 different mediums for storytelling. And for me, I actually like when the movies are a little bit different from the book because it's like I already read the book or like I already seen the movie. The only exception to that I think would be 300, like I said earlier. But y'all, this was such a good movie. I loved it. And the book was really, really good too. My husband actually picked up a few more titles by Frida McFadden for me because he's so sweet and so thoughtful. And last week when I was at the height of my sickness, he's like, I know you weren't feeling well, so I brought you home some treats. And I was expecting like, oh, maybe he brought me home some like pickle chips or whatever, because I am obsessed with pickle chips. They're my favorite. But no, he brought me books. He knows me so well. But where to put you? Because I like how this looks. Like, do you guys remember in the beginning where like it was literally just like to the brim? Like I like having some space and seeing the shelves and stuff. But like we're already pretty much jam-packed full of books for this one. And I've still got quite a few on the ground. You know what I might do? Because I actually didn't read Crescent City yet. I just haven't been in a fantasy mood lately. I think I'll switch this out with what I did read, which was the Fourth Wing series. And again, I know that's also a controversial series on Book Talk, but I enjoy it. But then again, I don't take things too seriously. Oh, I should put my Lord of the Rings. Where are you guys?
Where'd you guys get off to?
Oh, here you are. And a perfect fit, just a perfect fit. We love it, we love to see it. Okay, now I kind of do want to do the bottom shelf a little bit, but nothing too extensive. I will not be showing you guys my high school yearbooks. Oh, they are exactly what you would expect. I graduated high school in 2010, and that is so crazy to think about. 16 years ago, like, am I really that old now?
I must be.
Ooh, look at how cute all these are. These are a bunch of bookmarks that I got for Christmas. They're like little fantasy swords, aren't they so cute? I love them. All right, that might just be the end of this bookshelf. I don't know if you guys can see all the way on the floor here, but I have this dragon statue that I've had for like literally ever. And it's so cute. And I remember I was like such a broke teenager when I bought it, and it was like $80, I think, at the time. And I thought I was the most ballin' person ever. I was like, I just spent $80 on a statue. And now here we are coming to like a grinding halt. Okay, and I'm curious how you guys organize your bookshelves too. If you don't have a ton of space for your books like me, but you love physical media, I would seriously love to know how you organize all your stuff. Do you stack it up like I did down here? I don't know if you guys can see. Or do you just keep it like this? Like any of your organization tips, I am here for. I am a willing and ready participant. I don't know if I necessarily want to touch my records too much. Like maybe I'll just put all the records on the bottom. You know what? Like I've been preaching this whole time, we don't have to take things too seriously. Let's just start and see where we end. CDs from when I was in high school. These are fun. Let's see what I was listening to in high school. A lot of Tool, Marilyn Manson, Incubus, a lot of Bjork. And then, yeah, that's pretty much what I'm seeing here. Oh, and Nightwish. Oh my gosh, I was such a Nightwish girly. And if you guys want a tour of all my vinyl, let me know in the comments. All right, so yeah, I think I'll keep all of this the same up here just because it fits and I'm not trying to break anything. This is fun. So before I broke my foot, I played a lot of tennis and this was the first game that I won with my tennis partner. So I've got a little stand for us and we wrote the date that we won the game, what the scores were, and now we can have them in our offices. My Gundam figures, I'm gonna put on the top shelf because Loki definitely likes to knock these over, and I'm sure there are parts just simply missing because he's batted them into the abyss. I don't know. Ooh, separate but kind of related. This is another thing that my husband got me for Christmas that I really like. It's one of those anxiety bookshelves. Yay! Now I actually did go through and play with this once and I organized like everything and it was really, really fun. And then I was like, you know what? I'm so the kind of person that would just like leave it organized forever. So why don't I shake things up literally and destroy all my hard work? And I did. And it was an exercise in letting go, I guess. It was hard to do, but it was also fun and kind of freeing. So I definitely want to play with this again at some point. Back to business. Okay, so here are another of my favorite series ever, Silence of the Lambs. And this is another good example of how the movies actually do the books justice. The only exception I would make to that is Hannibal. Hannibal ended very differently than the book. But I feel like I read one time, and do not quote me on this because I don't know if I just imagined this up at some point and have just been telling myself this for years. But I feel like I heard one time that he was feeling pressured to write this book and kind of wrote the ending in a way that would make people mad because he didn't want to be rushed. I'm gonna have to like Google that and fact check that, but I feel like I heard that one time. Anyways, love these movies, love these books. My lower back is killing me. Oh, The Princess Bride, if you know, you know. So one of the series that I really liked in high school was by the author Holly Black, which her more popular titles that I think people are reading now are like The Cruel Prince, like those books. And I did end up reading all of those and like the companion titles that she wrote for it. But if you want to go back and be an OG and read what I was reading in high school, then you will read the Tithe series. I would say it's more of like a late teen read. I would not recommend this series for like my daughter. She's like 13. I think it's just a little too sexy for kids that young. But if they're like 16, 17, I'm sure it's fine. But use your own discretion, parents. I actually have 2 copies of Tithe. I don't know how that happened. Maybe it would be fun for me to give one away. What do you guys think? Should I give one of my titles away since I have a duplicate? This one is the more beat up one, so this is probably the one I will keep. That way I can give you guys a nicer copy. Let me know in the comments if I should do that. It's such a Mod Podge over here because I'm basically just putting everything that I didn't put over here with like no rhyme or reason. Got like Shakespeare, Frida McFadden, Claire Keegan, House Moving Castle, like just a bunch of random stuff. Okay, oh, actually, I think that was all of the books. Oh, little Lana Del Rey sticker. I am a Lana Del Rey girly. I absolutely love her. I actually have her book of poems right here, Violet Bent Backwards Over the Grass. I know a lot of people don't love her, but I do. Okay, I mean, save for the mess that I have on the floor from all my little like knickknacks and stuff, I think we're pretty much done. I am going to put some of my bookmarks. I like to put my bookmarks just like in easy reach right here, because whenever I pick up a new title, I usually like to switch out my bookmark. It's just like, I don't know, fun thing that I do. Like, I don't know, I like it. So I like to keep them all easily accessible. And you know what? If you need like a little extra motivation to read too, I think that's like maybe a fun idea. Like go get yourself a cute little bookmark and then you'll be excited to use it. I also have a bad habit of losing my bookmarks. So my favorite bookmark right now is a stick of butter that I got from Barnes & Noble. And I liked it so much because it made me think of the Butter book, which was like one of my favorites in 2025. And then I lost it. But luckily I had some Barnes & Noble points, so I was able to order another one. It should be here any day. And how much you want to bet as soon as it gets here, I'll find the last one. Okay, everyone, so I think we're done. Thank you for joining me today. Looking back, I already feel so much better about my bookshelves. They just look more streamlined, clean, organized, and I am definitely a girly who needs all those things. Like, my husband teases me all the time about how like I just like need things to be perfect. I don't know, I'm anal retentive or something. Undiagnosed whatever. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that I have anything because I just don't know. But what I do know is that I love things to be organized, and it just scratches that itch in my brain so good. So thank you so much for joining me today, and thank you for bearing with me. This is, I think, my first long form YouTube content, and I have no idea how long it's actually going to be because my wonderful husband is going to help me edit it while I learn how to do all this stuff for myself. So I appreciate you being here on my journey and giving me the space to grow and learn how to make this kind of content and be creative in this way. So just thank you again for everything. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. And if you would like me to do a giveaway of my extra copy of Tithe, please let me know in the comments. And then if you have any questions about any of the titles that I showed you today, let me know. I will do my best to answer any questions that you have. All right. Okay, thanks. Love you. Bye.